So my guest here at ICVM is our fabulous guest speaker, Brian Bird. And I wanted to talk to Brian Bird for one reason and one reason only. When you're looking to find out how filmmaking and television making is made, how things fly through an industry, you've got to talk to someone who's been there. So as he's been there, I wanted to ask you, how do you stay afloat when it's time to do something that no one understands, no one feels like could possibly be successful? How do you make your project happen?
Well, I think that it happens on many levels, right? It happens from a physical standpoint, a practicality standpoint, but also a spiritual standpoint. What's possible from a production level? What's possible from a financial model level as well? But I never worry about that other stuff because I follow the call. If you've been called to do something and you've had confirmation from somebody you trust, right? Not your Aunt Connie from Albuquerque, which I have one, by the way, who I love, but she doesn't confirm for me what I'm supposed to do, right? She can support it, she can praise it, but I need the opinions of people who've earned the right to give me an opinion. It's only then that I feel like I can follow the call. Somebody tells me this is good, this has potential, and they've earned the right to say that to me, then I go for it.
Okay, so you open the door.
Right.
What gives them the right? What makes them the one who has earned the right? Because that's important. That's an important piece
Right.
of a puzzle of our lives in totality as creatives, but as those who are followers of Christ.
Right. Well, if you were going into the Army or into the Navy or any of the services, you would have a drill sergeant teaching you what to do, training you.
Yes.
They've been there, done that many times. They've been in the trenches, they've been in the wars. And I really believe the people that are qualified to give you an opinion, who've earned the right to give you an informed opinion, are that way because they've been to the wars already. They've been in the trenches. They got scars. They're battle hardened. They're not afraid of anything. And sometimes you have to go through the refiner's fire to become fearless. You can't be fearless unless you've already faced your fears.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. You have to have gone through something.
That's right. So my advice to young filmmakers is find mentors who've been in the war already, who have the scars, who have the shrapnel still in them because they've been wounded by the business, but it's made them profound at knowing what they're talking about. We need those people in our lives. We're in our own little echo chambers without them. We think what we have is good. We think it's worthy. Get somebody who you trust to give you an opinion that you can count on. And if they tell you go for it, you go for it. If they say you're not ready, you listen to them because they know what they're talking about.
Because they've been
there
through the trenches.
That's right.
Brian Bird, thank you so much. There's some special things that you said today in speaking to ICVM that I'm going to share with our audience. Those points that are almost earth-shattering when you consider that you need all of those things in order to move forward. Last question for you.
Yeah.
When there's a decision to be made that is difficult, it means losing everything or gaining everything.
Right.
What do you, Brian Bird, do?
You know, I've learned over the years, been a Christian since I was a little boy, but I've learned that there's two things you have to do. You have to pray as if it all depends on God, and work as if it all depends on you. You got to be willing to work everybody under the table. That doesn't mean you go down, wild goose chases and follow things that don't make sense. But you have to trust God with the vision that He's given you, and then you got to work to death. You got to work it to death and be willing to work harder than anybody else to make that a reality. And if you do that, you're going to hit a much higher goal than you ever thought you could, right?
There is nothing but truth in that statement. I want to thank you for being here at ICVM 2017, Arise, and I also want to thank you for sharing your wisdom and the triumph from tragedy.
Well, my honor, and I would much rather for all these good folks here at ICVM Arise to learn the shortcuts from me, that all the stumbles that I made, to learn from me so they don't make the same mistakes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. I want to give you a glimpse of all the things that go on at a convention like this. It's ICVM. There's lots of things to tell you about. You just got to be ready to hear, receive, and do. We are to be doers of His word, not hearers only. Now, once you get that part, there's so much more to go. God bless you. I'll see you again soon.